This will really be the first look for both teams within the last few years, Stigler being a non-5A opponent, so this will be non-district. The Stigler team, 25-9 last year, so McAlester will have their hands full. This is a team that went 6-17 last year, lost in the Tahlequah Regional. It's going to be pretty much an underclassman-heavy team, but you've got myself, Chase McNutt, Nate Brown also over here working color, and also our great streaming that we have. If you guys want to watch that, go to our McAlester Radio YouTube page, and you can watch that. Nate, it looks like we're going to have some softball here today.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this for the first time. It's going to be my first time calling the game with you, first time streaming the game with this video, so I hope it looks good, and I hope everyone's going to enjoy it out there.
Yeah, for sure. So, as he said, a lot of first here this evening for what will be, I guess, the first of many games going on for you all the way up until October. Just on the softball side of things, we'll have football coming up here in about, I think, 18 days will be the first day for McAlester football. So with that in mind, I mentioned today being the first for a lot. Just kind of bear with us as we work out some of the kinks and everything and get used to each other. But we've got softball going off here in just about 7 minutes. Really can't complain about the weather today. Might be a little bit on the muggy side with all the rain that we had earlier today, but we've got a nice steady wind. Looks like it's pushing a little bit to the north here. 91 degrees. UV index really isn't too bad. So go ahead and come on, make your way on out here to Mike Deak. Watch some softball for what should be a good one. Nate, any last comments here before we take our first break?
I do want to just say apologies on the stream. We did have that audio issue come up at the very beginning, so we missed a little bit of your intro.
Okay.
But other than that, it should be smooth sailing from here on out. Looking forward to a great broadcast here.
Same as well. Once again, this broadcast all season long is going to be brought to you by Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, McAlester Clothing Consignment, and Consignment Exchange. And with Consignment Exchange, I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother, they started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture. Now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag out of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after the national anthem. You're listening to McAlester High School Softball right here on 98.3 KNED. We'll be right back.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, home decor, toys, hand tools, handbags, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 405 East Chickasaw Avenue, Suite B, McAlester. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 918-318-7986.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Number 3, Bailey Caldwell. At second base, number 1, Carl.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here on the south side of McAlester. We've got softball getting ready to come your way right now. Buffalo starting lineups are being announced. Let's go ahead and go through their lineup and the field. We've got Rylan Lesnow starting, leading things off here. We'll be playing short. Avery Alberson will be batting second in left field. Casey Woods batting third will be on the left side of the diamond at third base. Ambry House will be batting in the cleanup spot behind the dish. Kelsey Powell will be batting fifth over at third. Taylor Williams, the designated player / designated hitter, will be batting sixth. Batting No, that is correct. Batting 6, Shiley Mason will be pitching today in the circle. Batting 7th, Bailey Caldwell will be 8th in center field, and Carly Lamore will be the 9-hole playing at second base. And we also have Coral Coy playing in right field and will not be batting in this game today. But we do have the national anthem, so we're going to go ahead and just let you guys soak in the sounds here live from Mike Deak Field. All righty, we've got softball coming up here, and I would probably say just under 5 minutes. Went ahead and ran through the McAlester side of the starting lineups. They will be in the field first. Mentioned that Shiley Mason will be starting on the bump today. Let's go ahead and go through on the Stigler side of things. Jordan Johnson will be playing short. Also batting first, Dally Engel will be playing behind the dish, batting second. Caitlin Lovett batting third at third base. Keely Adams batting fourth in left field. Cambry Cook will be in the center circle today, pitching for the Panthers. She'll be batting fifth. Peyton Mecom will be in right field, batting sixth. Marley Bracken will be batting seventh, playing first base. And we've also got Noli Blanchett will be batting eighth over at second, and Riley Williams will be the 9-hole playing in center field as well. So it was kind of an interesting thing coming back. Obviously, I'm from McAlester, had been in the area a long time, graduated high school here, had been away probably since 2017 when I graduated. So coming back to Mike Deak, Nate, it's a little bit different. Softball was not played over here last time I was here.
No, softball used to be played, I'd say, maybe about 50 yards over.
Yeah, just 50 yards that other way, just right down there. Obviously, listening, you don't know where I'm talking about, but I guess just a little bit farther north over there behind Pewter Ball, where the mixture of all those complexes and fields are. A lot of Boys and Girls Club stuff goes on over there as well. But it's cool, especially with the new turf. Again, turf was not a thing over here back last time I was here. It looks good. It looks great. It's a lot more practical as well, especially for days like today and the torrential downpour we had earlier this morning.
Right. I mean, I got to go down on the field earlier, and you couldn't tell that it had rained at all. It is a beautiful day out here now.
It is. It's a beautiful day for some softball, really anything outside. If you've got nothing else to do, go outside, throw the game on, listen a little bit, and just enjoy what is going to be one of the cooler days of this week. As I mentioned, 91 degrees. That's probably what it's going to be as we have first pitch coming up here in just about, I would say, within a minute. So once again, Shiley Mason will be on the bump today. I guess not a bump on softball, just a center circle. But just a little bit of vernacular switch up right there. But throw down from Ambry House, and we're getting ready to get things rolling. This McAlester Buffalo squad is coached by Holly Jernigan, who was hired back in December of 22. Assistant coaches A.J. Mason and Daryl Spann. So we're getting ready to get things started here for the season. Hopefully started off in the right direction here for the Buffaloes, trying to surpass 6 wins, which is what they had last year. Started a little bit slow, went on a little bit of a win streak later on in the year, but as I mentioned, finished that year 6-17. So let's get ready to get things rolling as the season is officially off, as the first pitch is left a little upstairs from Shiley Mason. So it is ball 1 to Jordan Johnson. First pitch coming at 5:01 McAlester time. And then you can just change that around with wherever you're at in time zone-wise. Pitch number 2, it's another watch, and that one's going to be in for a strike. So 1-1 now to get things rolling along. Field looks really good today. Wind has not really died down, but don't know how much of a factor it'll be. Here's the 1-1 from Mason. Swung on, hit down the left field line, and bounces straight up off the bag. It's grabbed by Les now, but there's no play. So that's going to be a base hit, the first one of the season for the Panthers, and the first hit that Shiley Mason has given up so far to get things started.
Dally Engel.
So now Dally Engel steps into the batter's box, trying to continue what is already some early success for the Panthers. Mason will try and shut it down. The double play ball is something to watch here as well. Pitch number 1, loads, but does not go on a pitch that is called strike one. Good spot by Mason. So 0-1 to start out this count. Mason, a senior, one of a few on this team, not a senior-heavy team. Here's the 0-1. Runner goes, stops, comes back, so no steal there. That's a bit upstairs, so 1-1. But this is mainly an underclassmen team, as Coach Jernigan had talked about that earlier today. But a couple of seniors on this team, Avery Alberson also one of them, Casey Woods as well. Runner is going to go, pitches in the dirt, and that's going to be a stolen base for the Panthers, so they've got a runner in scoring position here already at the top half of the first. So it's 2-1 from Mason to Dally Engel, who is behind the dish today. Here's the 2-1. It's going to be fouled very softly down the third baseline. So it'll be evened up at 2-2, trying to get the first out of the inning here. And really, I know I've talked about it, but really just a beautiful day today. You really, in the midst of, what is August now, you really don't know what you're going to get in terms of heat, weather-wise as well. Obviously, we had the downpour this morning, but really it worked out to be a beautiful day here in McAlester. Here's the 2-2. It's going to be bounced in a nice block that time by House behind the plate. So it's now worked full with a runner on second base. We'll see if Mason can work her way out of this little jam here.
I mean, you were talking about the weather a second ago. This is just typical Oklahoma weather. Torrential downpour and then nearly 100 degrees later.
I know, that's just, if you want to talk about Oklahoma weather, this is a perfect way to describe it. That pitch is going to be hit down the left field line and foul. So it'll stay right there at 3-2. We've got another payoff pitch incoming. A good chance to get the first out of the inning. With the runner over at second, does take away the double play unless something wacky were to come out, like a line drive, which certainly you'll take that.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week. So Mason will step back into the circle here. 3-2, trying to get the first out of the inning. Here's the payoff pitch. It's going to be bounced and blocked, so that's going to be a walk to get things started off. So a base hit and a base on balls so far for the Panthers. They've got 2 runners on and no outs here. They'll now bring up Caitlin Lovett, mentioned playing third base as well today. McAlester, they're wearing their black on black jerseys and pants, pinstripes with gold numbering and lettering.
Looks like we've got a courtesy runner over at first, number 6 for Stigler.
So courtesy runner, thank you for pointing that out, Nate. For Stigler, this is going to be Maya Nixon at first base. Coming in for Dally Engel, who's the catcher. First pitch swing, and it's fouled backwards. So 0-1 now with 2 runners on. Starting out ahead, especially in a situation with 2 on and no out, just a lot of people who maybe don't play, baseball or softball, just maybe not understand as much on the pitcher side of things. But starting out ahead in the count just makes things 10 times easier on you mentally. A ball here, you just even things up instead of falling behind 2 pitches. But here's the 0-1 now. It's left a little bit up, and that is not held on by House, and so that's going to be a passed ball that allows 2 runners to advance. So 2 runners in scoring position now. McAlester will try to stop him right there as it's 1-1. And Shiley Mason wants to swap out a ball here. Didn't like the feel of the last one. So 2-1, second and third. Caitlin Lovett up to bat. She's got 1 ball and 1 strike on her. Here's the 1-1. It's upstairs, so it's now 2-1. So a walk here really is not what you want to give up, but it doesn't necessarily hurt you too bad with the base open. It does not add a run on, but it does also give you the advantage of having every base as a force out. That pitch is going to be hit, man, a blooper just over the shortstop. It's going to allow 1 run to score, and they're going to hold up the second one at third. The runner's trying to go for second. It's not a great throw, and it's not grabbed by Lamore. It rolls over to the edge of the infield turf, and that allows another run to score. So the Panthers have put 2 on the board here in the first inning. So Jordan Johnson comes around to score. Dally Engel had a pinch runner for Maya Nixon, who came around to score as well. So Caitlin Lovett, really that was a single that turned up into her being over on third base. So we'll give her the RBI single for that. First pitch strike now to Keely Adams, the left fielder. Cleanup batter as well. McAlester still looking for their first out. As again, they trail it 2-0 here in the top half of the first. Pitch from Mason is left just a bit upstairs. That's kind of where she's been so far to start this one. Just a little bit up, but over the plate. you can work with that much more than being left and right.
Right, and just need to take a deep breath,
Yeah.
calm down, and
1-1. It's a very slow roller down the third baseline into foul territory. But yeah, as you mentioned, Nate, it's game one. I'm sure these girls are working out, just a little bit of nerves, just getting things started. Obviously, you're at home, and things have changed on you a little bit with possibly going to Stigler, and now obviously not going to Stigler. And so you've kind of had to work around some things. And right now they're trying to work around a 2-run early deficit. The 1-2 is bounced, and that's a nice block by Ambry House. Saved a run right there. So now it's 2-2 to Adams. And Mason's looking for her first out of the inning, just one strike away from it. Here's the 2-2. Looked good, but just a little bit off the plate inside. So very close, but it's now worked full. So a 3-2 count.
I mean, and even a walk here wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. That would put in a double play ball.
And as you mentioned, Nate, there is a walk as that pitch is in the dirt. A nice block by House, though. That is a walk regardless, but if she doesn't block that, you're possibly getting another run scored.
Right.
So it's the little wins, stuff like that, even in the face of things that don't look great that you'll take, especially situations like that. And so now you've got an open bag up the middle. Anything hit hard enough, you can possibly turn to with Les now and Lamore both standing there in the middle of the infield diamond. Up to bat now is Cambry Cook. This is a pitcher v. pitcher matchup. First pitch to her, just above the elbows. Again, just kind of high there, but that's a good speed. So it's 1-0 to start the count out. Runners on the corners, no outs still. Sounded like a strike, and it is. Caught the inside corner. Nice location that time from Mason. Couldn't really get a swing on it that time was Cook. So it's 1-1 now. You've got Keely Adams on first. Jordan Johnson over on third base. Pitch is fouled backwards into the netting in front of the stands here at Mike Deak. So it's 1-2, another pitcher's count. I've had a couple of them.
And for Mason here, it'd be just really big to just even get the first out.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily the double play ball. Just get that first out to clear your mind.
At 1-2, it's popped on the infield. Les now going backwards, ranging, grabs it for out number one. And it looked like third base, Caitlin Lovett thought about going. A very smart decision by the Stigler coaching to not send her. But if you're a McAlester coach, you probably would have liked that because it looked like it could have been an easy play at home.
Right.
But there is out number one.
In basketball, we saw the kind of arm Les now has out there, just like her brother did.
Yeah.
Would have absolutely nailed her at the plate.
And so there's one out. Runner still on the corners now for Peyton McComb. First pitch, runner goes to second base. It is a called strike. So you start out ahead 0-1. That runner from first to second. If you handle things at the plate, that runner really won't make a difference to you.
It does eliminate the double play ball, though.
It does eliminate the double play. There is that. So the 0-1 now from Mason. Two really good pitches back-to-back. That one's fouled off down the third base side of things. So 0-2, the first 0-2 count that Mason has worked so far in the top half of this first inning. We'll try and keep it rolling along and get out number two here. This is the sixth hole.
Well, I think you're starting to see her kind of getting her rhythm here.
She's settling in a little bit. That's about 4 pitches in a row that have been in pretty good spots. The 0-2, that one is hit right towards the left fielder. Coming up to make the play, Avery Alberson for out number two. So a fly out to left field that time from Peyton Mecom, and now the Buffs have gotten 2 straight outs and still only trailed by 2, and with as many base runners that the Panthers have had now, you'll take that, especially just only being down by 2 runs. So big out right here to get, as well as Marley Bracken steps up to the bat. Runners on second and third. First pitch from Mason, trying to square to bunt, and it looked like it hit her on the front of the toe.
It did.
Sally, get out of it. Let's go.
So that is a hit by pitch, the third free pass so far in this first inning. 2 walks and a hit by pitch, also 2 hits so far. Cambry Cook and Peyton Mecom were back-to-back outs, and so now this brings up the 8 hole in Noli Blanchett. On the back half, though, of the lineup, it's a really good chance to get some outs here.
Oh, 100%.
What you don't want is a couple more runs to come across, and then you get back to the top part of the lineup. First pitch is high and outside, so 1-0 from Mason to Blanchett.
It was a good job by Blanchett back there, keeping that one in front of her.
It most definitely was. Again, stuff like that, it'll save your runs. especially on the shortened base paths here in softball. Just 60 feet in high school softball. The 1-0, bit outside. And now the trouble now, we mentioned how a walk didn't really hurt you earlier. Now you've got nowhere to put her. So a walk would bring in another run as she's already down 2-0. And that is another ball. Looked close, but it's now 3-0.
It was a little high. That is the nice thing about having the video right here. We can see where that is now. Before, we had no idea high or low.
That's true. And a 4-pitch walk brings in another run. So it's now 3-0 Panthers over McAlester here in the first inning. And also, just as Nate was saying, obviously you need to check out our broadcast on our YouTube page. Just kind of see the dual camera work we got going here. It looks a lot like a college broadcast. It looks really good.
I will say I'm pretty proud of it.
You should be. It looks dynamite. First pitch swinging, and that is nailed. And it's going to roll around to the left center field side of things. 1 run scores, and a second run will score. So now 3-0 is turned to 5-0 with 2 runners in scoring position. So Riley Williams, the 9-hole, with an RBI double.
Number 23, Jordan Johnson.
So now that's back to the top half of the lineup now with Jordan Johnson. First pitch swinging, it's hit right at Les now for out number 3. So McAlester gets out of that inning, not unscathed though. 5 runs for the Panthers and the top half as it's 5-0. We'll turn now to the bottom half of the first inning. We'll be right back. You're listening to McAlester Softball right here on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, home decor, toys, hand tools, handbags, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 405 East Chickasaw Avenue, Suite B, McAlester. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 918-318-7986.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here in McAlester as the Buffaloes are coming around to hit now after suffering a 5-run top half of the first inning by the Panthers. It was a couple of hits, and really it was one big double at the end of it as well from Riley Williams to bring 2 more runs across. The Buffs had an opportunity to get out trailing by only 2, but now got a little bit more of their work cut out for them. And it's going to be started here with Rylan Lesnow, who actually made 2 of the 3 outs back in the top half of the first inning. Caught a pop fly and then a line drive right at her. But now it begins their side of things on the offense for this season. And Rylan Lesnow starting things off mentioned at first, or batting first. Avery Alberson will be batting second. Casey Woods in the hole batting third. Ambry House will be the cleanup hitter. And Kelsey Powell batting fifth. Taylor Williams batting sixth. Shiley Mason batting seventh. Bailey Caldwell batting eighth. And Carly Lamore batting ninth.
Shortstop number 2, Rylan Lesnow.
So Lesnow mentioned she had 2 of the 3 outs for McAlester defensively in that first inning. She'll try and get things started for them offensively. And Lesnow, that is a player that is a sophomore, so another one of those younger underclassmen that we talked about. It's littered with them this season. First pitch to her is upstairs and outside, so 1-0 now to Lesnow. The good thing, though, about these younger teams is that maybe if there are some struggles early on, you feel like they're going to be really, really good the more time they get, especially after a couple years. Second pitch to her is just below the knees. So it's 2-0. But Lesnow also was featured in the VIPE edition for McAlester Softball, so she's expected to be a big player for him this year. Obviously, head coach Holly Jernigan had some good things to say about her, too. That pitch is upstairs, so 3 straight balls. And I'll tell you, on the Stigler side of things, really throwing some heat. Really throwing some heat is Cambry Cook in the center circle, and we're already having a pitching conversation. So I guess I didn't like the 3 straight balls to start things out, but I feel like it also helps to have a 5-run lead in those kind of a situation. So
Oh, for sure. This, at the very least, can be a learning situation for her.
Yeah. So it looks like the coach is content with what he wanted to say to Cambry Cook, so she'll step back in. Just one more ball, though. We'll put Les now on first and give McAlester their first base runner of the season, and that's a called strike 1. So 3-1 now after the hitter's take. Les now.
And I think you even take here on this pitch if you're Les now.
Unless it's perfect, I agree with you.
Exactly what you're looking for.
A little bit up, but it's a called strike just under the elbows. It did catch it, so it's now worked full. You're looking for a base hit ball 4 here if you're Les now. So Cook took those coaching words, took them strong, and has worked well. And that pitch is fouled high, but it's going to be playable for the catcher. And luckily for Les now, that falls harmlessly to the ground. But that was a tough situation there, but able to stay alive. So you get another at bat. It's going to stay at 3-2. Still no outs, as again, she is the leadoff.
I mean, like they always say, you got to protect anything close. You got to swing at.
That's what she did. So now she'll step in after that dropped pop fly behind the plate. Cook working very quickly. Pitch a little bit low, but swung on by Les now. Not going to be hit super deep, and the left fielder having to come into the dirt/turf. Comes in to catch it for out number 1. So Les now is retired with that fly out. That is the 3rd fly out now to left field just for both teams combined. And now Avery Alberson will step in to try and get the first hit. A senior, mentioned that she's one of just a few on this team. Shiley Mason also one of them as well. But Alberson now is tasked with grabbing the first hit of the inning. First pitch swinging, it's fouled off, and catcher does catch that behind home plate. So that's out number 2. First pitch swinging was Alberson. Unfortunately, that one fell right into the glove of the catcher, unlike Lesnau's, whose hit fell harmlessly. So now it's 2 up, 2 down as Casey Woods, the third baseman, will step in to try and keep things rolling along, try and be the first base runner for the Buffs here. First pitch is low, near the ankles, watches it in for ball 1.
Number 21, Casey Woods.
And it'd be big for McAlester, not even to get, obviously, to get to the 5 runs back, but just to get a base runner on, just to get that mentality going forward.
Another pitch in the dirt, so it's 2-0. So a hitter's count here. A little bit reminiscent of what we saw to Les now to start things off. 2 pitches in the dirt to start out ahead on the hitter's side. But you've got a couple of pitches to work with here, being up 2-0. Let's see how Casey Woods responds. The 2-1 off-speed pitch drops right in over the knees for a called strike. It's 2-1 now. Good response by Cook there to work back. But for Woods now, you saw a good pitch. You got a 2-1 count. Anything close, so you think that you're going to be protected here. Here's the 2-1. Swing right through a fastball. So it's 2-2. Man, that one had some steam on it.
Yeah, that was a good mix of off speed, then just went right at her with the fastball there.
And it's a little bit harder for me to track what kind of pitches it is in softball. Here's the 2-2 and half swinging on a pitch that fooled her, but that was nothing but speed. That is a strikeout for Cambry Cook, and that is how the inning ends. McAlester is retired in 3 straight with a fly out, a pop out, and a strikeout. So we'll go ahead and take another break. We're going to head now to the top half of the second inning. The Buffaloes trail it 5-0 to Stigler. We'll be right back. You're listening live on KNED 98.3.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
McAlester Clothing.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. And
Out now, top half of the second inning here at Mike Deak as McAlester Softball trails Stigler 5-0. They're going to try and hold it right there so they can get another opportunity to get back in the bottom half of the second. Shiley Mason in the center circle. First pitch over to Dally Engel is a called ball, so 1-0 here. The Panthers did bat around or all the way through the lineup in the first inning. Jordan Johnson was able to bat twice, and she ended up being the third out after getting things started with a single. So Engel, man, she fouls that one high over towards the first base press box, and it's grabbed for out number 1 by Carly Lamore. Just ranging over to her left, closer and closer, was able to grab it, man. She was right in the line of where that sun was shining. So that is a nice play by her to retire the first batter of the inning. And as I mentioned, just with getting ahead in the count as a pitcher, getting that first down for that first batter also helps out a lot, just mentally.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry as much about getting 3 outs. Now you just have to worry about 2 and let your defense work behind you.
Exactly. And there's a first pitch strike that time to Caitlin Lovett. So 0-1. Mason bounced back a little bit in that first inning after just kind of a slow start. Got 2 straight outs, and that pitch it's going to be hit not super hard, right to left field, and not really a lot of moving for Avery Alberson for out number 2. So correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan. I believe that's 3 pitches and 2 outs.
That is correct.
So a quick inning is exactly what the doctor would have ordered here after that first inning. Makes you feel just, maybe some momentum swinging back, and hopefully that carries on into the bottom of the second. But they still got to get the third out here. Don't want to get too presumptuous. Keely Adams is back in. She walked her first time up. First pitch to her is a ball. So 1-0 now from Shiley Mason, the day 1 starter here for McAlester. Mentioned that the Buffaloes won just 6 games last year, trying to capitalize and get a little bit more this year. That pitch hits the third base coach for Stigler on the foul side. So it's 1-1. Couldn't quite get out of the way of it. That almost kind of, the scooter ankle term.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of looked like it caught him in that same kind of spot. So I imagine the pain is probably close to the same.
Yeah, I've been hit there before. Not fun.
It's not great at all. That pitch is in the dirt, so 2-1. And Nate, also, I think I had shown you, I went to Puerto Rico a couple weeks ago, and I ended up
hadn't shown me that.
I got an ankle tattoo with my family. We all got a little, I think it's a lizard, top 5 worst pain in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would not recommend anybody getting an ankle tattoo. That was top 5 worst pains ever.
I'm going to cross that off my list.
The 2-1, it's an off-speed pitch, pulls the string on her a little bit, swing and a miss. It's Keely Adams now. It's got worked on her 2-2 here with 2 outs. So Shiley Mason trying to have a really good bounce back inning here, trying to get a 3 up, 3 down to give it back to the Buffaloes. Here's the 2-2. It's a little bit upstairs. So it's 3-2 now. Still in a good opportunity. You've got a free spot to put her, but you just rather get the out here.
Oh, yeah, much rather just get out of this inning and move on to your bottom half and try and get some of those runs back.
Payoff pitch. It's going to be fouled off right at the field house. So it'll stay at 3-2 once again. And I really don't want to beat the same point into the ground, but man, it just really is a beautiful day today. I really just wanted to talk about it. It looks really nice today. It feels good as well. Not too hot, not too muggy yet. But here's the payoff pitch. Man, it looked close, and she got her. Rung her up on a strikeout where she didn't even swing. So 3 up, 3 down that time. That is a backwards K for Shiley Mason, as we'll now head to the bottom half of the second inning. McAlester, though, still
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, home decor, toys, handles, handbags, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 405 East Chickasaw Avenue, Suite B, McAlester. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 918-318-7986.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
to Stigler. First pitch swinging and ripping it up the middle for a base hit is Ambry House. So House gets things started off for the Buffaloes. Her first hit of the season, and so is McAllister's as well. Ambry House, that is going to be a name to watch for the Buffaloes this year and for years to come. She played travel summer softball for Epic National 18 under team in Norman. Had a really good summer for them as well. Is expected to be a really big player for them as just a sophomore.
And it looks like we're going to have another courtesy runner out there, number 15, Paisley Mullins.
You are exactly right, Nate. Thank you for pointing that out. You're going to see that with some of these catchers. We saw it already in the first inning with Stigler, with Dally Engel, and now with Ambry House. So we've got a first pitch strike and almost throwing it down to first base, but did not do it. So 0-1. Or I guess 1-0. The home plate umpire did the out sign with his hand, but it's 1-0 on the big board out in left field. So it's now 2-0. That pitch is high and outside. Mention that this is Kelsey Powell batting fifth, also playing first base.
I'm going to watch what the umpire calls here because I'm pretty sure it's 1-1.
That's what I thought. Ball's in the dirt. So it says 3-0 on the board, but I think me and Nate are kind of agreeing. It might be 2-1 here. We'll find out, I guess, in a second.
Whenever the umpire
Because I saw him do that hand signal like it was an out, which normally is just a strike. And I don't know. It said 1-0 on the big board. We'll see. So called strike. So we're going to say it's 2-2 here.
Yeah,
it is 2-2. Home plate umpire says 2-2.
We got it right.
We did. We caught it right. The big board will get you in trouble sometimes if you're not paying attention.
There it is. They corrected up
they
there
did.
now.
So 2-2 with a runner on first base. Here's the pitch from Cook. A little bit low, but swinging on it was Kelsey Powell, and that is a strikeout. The second strikeout now for Cambry Cook. Both swinging, and that is the first out of the inning for McAlester. That'll bring up Taylor Williams for her first at-bat of the game. The designated player, which essentially just works as a DH as it does in baseball. So she won't be fielding, just hitting. That's why you had Coral Coy for the Buffs playing in right field, and she will not be hitting. So first pitch is a called strike right down the middle. So 0-1 after the first pitch to Taylor Williams.
And the way I understand the difference between a designated hitter and designated player, a designated player can come in and play the field.
Yes, that is true.
While a DH cannot.
Yes. So here now is the 0-1 from Cambry Cook. Fouled backwards by Taylor Williams.
Right
so 0-2 now to start out.
Right back there toward our field mic.
And right back there towards the field mic. I think it's all right. It sounds like it's all right.
Yeah, we would know the difference if it actually hit it.
We would have heard that thing hit the ground. Hope you guys are also enjoying our outfield camera, which I had all props to Nate and Brandon Green. Just you guys have done a bang-up job, and it's paying off, as you can see. But a quick strikeout now for Taylor Williams as she strikes out on 3 pitches. So back-to-back strikeouts for Cambry Cook and the Stigler Panthers. That is a really big strikeouts as well after McAlester got a leadoff single here at the bottom of the second. So now Shiley Mason. We've got a pitcher v. pitcher matchup. This is also the 7-hole. First pitch to her. It's high and outside. So 1-0 to Mason. So Stigler, they put up 5 in the top half of the first, and then were goose-egged in the second after a big 3-up, 3-down inning. Well, thanks really totally to Shiley Mason. Swing and a miss on the 1-0. It's now 1-1.
There were some pretty good defensive plays out there, too, in that bottom of the first.
Yes, for sure.
Top of the second, excuse me.
That pop-out catch by, it was right over here at first base. The second base, that was Carly Lamore, made a great play. That pitch is swing and a miss again on back-to-back now. So from 1-0, it's now 1-2 with 2 outs. Still a runner on first base, though, so anything put in play, you're moving a runner here, just trying to find a gap. And in softball, anything hit hard enough, it's not super deep, so you might not be able to score from first, but you never know. So here's the 1-2 to Shiley Mason. Watches the pitch inside, but no, they're going to say it's a called strike 3. Mason didn't agree with it, but that is 3 straight strikeouts to sit down the lineup after a leadoff single from Ambry House. So now we'll head to the top half of the third. Buffaloes trail at 5-0. We'll be right back. You're listening to high school softball on 98.3 KNED. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, home decor, toys, hand tools, handbags, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 405 East Chickasaw Avenue, Suite B, McAlester. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 918-318-7986.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field. You're listening live on 1150 AM, 98.3 FM KNED. Myself, Chase McNutt, and Nate Brown joining you on this Monday evening. We're in the top half of the third inning. McAlester trails it 5-0 to the Stigler Panthers here. This is game 1 for the high school softball season. First pitch to Cambry Cook. It bounces and hits her in her back leg. So that was a pitcher v. pitcher matchup, and it's going to end in a hit by pitch. That is the second one from Shiley Mason today. And Cambry Cook, that's her first time on base.
And looks like we're going to have another courtesy runner here, number 5 for Stigler. I don't have a first name because you have the you have the picture with the names on it.
I believe it's Brinley Wilson. And here, Nate, I'll help you out here. I'll give you that list real quick.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
That way I can just call them out and don't have to send it over to you.
Exactly. First pitch now to Mecomb is bounced and gets to the backstop, and that allows the runner to get over. That allows Brinley, I should say, to go from first to second on the passed ball. And Nate, I will say, in the top half of the third inning, so far it seems like things just on our side of it, it's going pretty smoothly so far.
Yeah, and it is looking great out here.
That pitch is swung on and missed. A beautiful off-speed pitch from Shiley Mason to Peyton Mecomb. So it's 1-1 now. Runner on second base. So 5 runs in the top half of the first, but since then Mason has settled in. We'll see if it continues to carry on right here. Pitch halfway gone. I do think that she went. I don't see an official signal from anybody.
Did not go.
Oh, they're going to say she didn't go. From here, it looked like she went, but the call is no go. So 2-1 now.
The only problem with this is if you can see on our video stream, the umpire is standing directly in front of the batter on the camera.
Yeah.
So we can't really say on that one.
No,
but we got to see his call pretty clear.
We did, yeah. We saw it perfectly. That pitch, it hits her in the back leg again. So that is the second straight hit batter in this inning by Shiley Mason, and that is now her third hit batter of the game. And Ambry House will come out to have a conversation with her. Don't see anybody warming up, so they're going to stick with her here and just have her work out of this jam. And certainly we see that she has the stuff. I mean, she had a strikeout back in the second inning, also had 3 straight outs. So she's got the stuff as that pitch is fouled backwards on the bunt attempt from Marley Bracken. And I will say the temperature has dropped just 1 degree. So it's 90 degrees here.
That's not
not
really terrible.
No, not terrible. Mentioned the UV index is not very high right now, and that wind is helping out a ton. Here's the 2-2. Looked like a good spot. It's a called strike. So I guess that is the second strike, and that is where I got caught up looking at the big board again.
Yeah, it should be 0-2 right now.
It is 0-2. So 1 strike away now for Mason, trying to get the first out of the inning with runners on first and second. That one's a soft roller to third base. It's grabbed, and it's thrown over by Casey Woods for out number 1. So the runners do advance. Brinley moves over to third, and Peyton Mecomb moves over to second. So that essentially works as a sac bunt, but it'll go down as a 5-3 ground out for out number 1. So now 2 runners in scoring position at second and third. That'll bring up Noli Blanchett, the second baseman and the 8-hole. Squaring to bunt, lays it down. A perfect bunt. It'll score a run, and they get the out at first base.
No.
Oh, they're going to say she came off, yeah.
Everybody's safe.
Well, that could have been the second out for McAlester here. Now instead, a run scores, and you've got 2 base runners once again. So that, I would assume that's scored as an error.
Yes.
Because it's not like she beat the throw.
No, she would have been out had
Yeah.
she not come off the bag.
So now you've got to figure out if that goes to the pitcher or the first baseman, and the runner will steal.
No throw.
So I'm going to put that on the first baseman.
If I was scoring, that's where I would put it.
So now Riley Williams up to bat, the 9-hole. Pitch in the dirt, nice block by Ambry House. It's 1-1. A little bit of a wait and reset here for Shiley Mason on the mound. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by her. Off speed had Williams fooled. Now 2 strikes with 1 out. Runners in scoring position, 2 of them. Mentioned that we had Noli Blanchett on second, Peyton Mecom over on third. Here's the 1-2. Just a little bit low and looked inside as well. So 2-2.
Outfield shifted a little over to the left.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get pull hitters most of the time in high school. Pitch, man, just a little bit upstairs. So it's now worked full. This would be a big second out here, especially with this being the 9-hole. You're turning back over to the top half of the order regardless, unless, of course, you have a line drive right at a player and they can just step on a bag. Pitch, it's going to be just a soft roller off the end of the bat, and it's mishandled by Shiley Mason. Mason coming up to grab what was just essentially a pseudo bunt, was not able to grab a hold of it, and the home plate umpire is coming to look at the softball, maybe some residue, some water, I'm not quite sure, but they're just looking at it, just gave it back to her.
I guess making sure it wasn't too damaged to
Yeah.
continue playing with.
Yeah, that essentially was hit off the end of the bat.
Yeah.
So that's going to be charged as an error to Shiley Mason. So that is the second error of the inning for McAlester. First pitch is a little bit upstairs to Jordan Johnson, so ball 1. Bases are loaded here. Man, just outside. Oh, no, that was the strike signal. I thought he said ball. So 1-1. Nice job by Mason to get back. And now the good thing, if there is a good thing about the bases being loaded, any base is a force out on a ground ball, but that ball is ripped to left field. That's going to be a base hit. It's going to score 1, maybe even 2, and it will score 2. A throw comes into third base, but the Panthers tag on 2 more, and it's now 8-0 thanks to that double from Jordan Johnson. She's actually standing on second base. You also have Riley Williams over at third. So Noli Blanchett came around to score, and so did Peyton Mecom. So a couple of errors for McAlester when they maybe could have been out of the inning already, and that's where those come back to haunt you. First pitch to Dally Ingles, a called strike. So 0-1 with 1 out. First base is open. Second pitch is upstairs. 1-1 now, worked even. Dally Ingle, her last time up, she popped out to the first baseman. Her first time up, though, she issued a walk, was able to come around and score as well. She rears up for that one, but fouls it over towards the first base side, and it's grabbed, a huge out, as Kelsey Powell grabs it for out number 2.
Now batting number 3.
So now Caitlin Lovett will step in. She'll try and continue the inning and possibly do more damage for the Panthers. Again, they've got 2 in scoring position. And if you're McAlester, you're just trying to close the door here and get out of it after giving up a little bit more. So here's the first pitch. Nice block by Ambry House, as that pitch was a little bit low. Caitlin Lovett, she is 1 for 2 so far today. She's got an RBI single. She also flew out to Avery Alberson out in left field. Another pitch in the dirt. It's now 2-0.
Not far enough for any runners to advance.
No, I know that it looked like she was eyeballing it. Riley Williams looked like she really wanted to go, but probably better judgment to not, at least on the Stigler side. You'll take it if you're McAlester. You probably get it out at the plate. But instead now runners on second and third. It's 2-0. It's now 2-1. Nice spot that time from Mason. A little bit up, but right underneath the elbows for a called strike. If you can kind of live there, that is a really, really hard location to hit as a hitter. The 2-1, trying to rear up on that one, fouled it backwards. Seen a couple of times, really on the Stigler side, just trying to throw a lot into it, and both times it's resulted in pop-ups.
Hey, just get them to keep doing that.
Hey, we'll take
live
it.
with that all day.
Yeah. It's one thing I remember from playing baseball, the more power you try to generate into it, the less likely you are to get a good hit out of it. That 2-2 is fouled off again.
Another example of it.
Another example of it, yeah. So it's fouled backwards. Shiley Mason really, we've seen it at times when she really settles in. She can hit her spots, and she's tough to deal with. A strikeout already, and a couple of induced ground balls and fly balls as well. It's just been the free passes. It's not like she's getting banged up a lot on the hitting side. 2-2 just outside. So it's worked full, but this is a big, big pitch right here. I know you're already trailing it 8-0, but just to be able to get out of it right here and not let the inning extend would certainly help out. So Lovett with the 3-2, the payoff pitch. She got her. So her second strikeout of the game, and both are looking, results in the third out of the inning. But the Panthers do tag on 3 more as it's 8-0 over McAlester. We're going to take a short break really quick. I do want to say we're being sponsored by Consignment Exchange. Obviously, I've been doing commercials for them since I was very young. My great-grandfather and grandmother started that business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora, they've continued it, and the idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture. Now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate a or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is the place to go. I came up with the tag out of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is. We'll take a short 30-second break. We'll be right back. You're listening to McAlester Softball on 98.3 KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from St. Walter's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at St. Walter's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here on the south side of McAlester now, as the Buffaloes are going to be coming back around to hit. We had a little bit of a lull here. Just looked like Cambry Cook coming out of the Stigler dugout. Just was a little bit behind, but now she's coming out, getting ready to lead things off here for the Buffaloes here in the bottom half of the third. We've got Bailey Caldwell, which is weird enough to say, Nate, we still got 2 McAlester players who haven't batted yet.
That is a little weird.
I know, it seems, because we're 45 minutes into this game. It's just that's kind of what it's been. It's been 3 up, 3 down for McAlester both times, and the first 2 times they've came up to bat. Well, actually, I will check that. Ambry House got a leadoff base hit last inning, but then it was 3 straight strikeouts. But I think this is a good opportunity now. I feel like the pressure is off at this point. Maybe some of those nerves have worked out, and now at this point you're playing softball.
Yeah,
so we'll see if maybe they'll settle in a little bit here.
Yeah, just go out there and play.
And you'll get at least Rylan Lesnow. She'll get her second time around to see Cook, so maybe that second time around batting looks a little bit different for the Buffaloes. So Bailey Caldwell, the center fielder, her first at bat of the game. And as I mentioned, Cambry Cook, she has just been really, really good in the center circle today. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. First pitch is in the dirt, so it's 1-0 after it was bounced. Nice block that time from behind home plate from Dally Engel. So the Buffs trying to get a leadoff base runner. You'll take it how you can get it. You'll take a base hit, ball 4, hit by pitch, swing and a miss. Looked like she was just underneath it that time.
Looked like she was right on it otherwise, timing-wise at least.
Timing-wise, yeah, it looked perfect. Just looked like she swung a little bit underneath it. And Nate, as you were mentioning earlier, we don't have the umpire in our way. It's a beautiful shot on our YouTube right now. That pitch is a little bit upstairs.
I mean, if anyone's not watching right now but has watched like the Women's College World Series, that main angle that they've got, that's the angle we've got on the stream right now.
And if you're not watching, just click on over to our YouTube page if you get a chance. The 2-1, it's a little bit low. So 3-1, a very hitter-heavy count here for Bailey Caldwell. You'll take ball 4, However, you can get it a base hit as well.
Just getting a base runner on, just build a little momentum and just keep working on that.
Here's the 3-1. Man, really good pitch by Cambry Cook. When she's got that fastball, it really doesn't move, and it's there in a blink.
It almost sounds like the umpire's calling ball.
I know, yeah.
And then signaling strike.
It's thrown me off a couple times. I'm glad that you are also hearing that, because that's thrown me off a little. Pitch is swung on and missed. That is a strikeout. So Caldwell strikes out to start things off. That is now the 4th straight strikeout for Cambry Cook, and that is now her 5th of the last 6 batters she's seen have been sat down via the strikeout. 4 of them have been swinging. 1 of them was looking. So now Carly Lamore will step in. Her first at bat. And I just got a text from my grandpa. Says, great camera angle, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
First pitch to Lamore is a called strike. So 0-1. Hope everybody is enjoying their Monday, your start to the week. Hope you've enjoyed what we've brought you so far. The start of what will be a full season of softball and volleyball. That pitch is a slow roller. Hit right back to Cambry Cook. She'll grab it and throw it over to first base for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down now for McAlester, and it turns back over to the top half of the inning. That does, however, break the streak of strikeouts, in which that is, if you're going to get outs, that's one thing. You feel a little bit better about it when you're just making contact, because if you're just grounded out, flying out, at some point those balls will eventually drop. Strikeouts are a little bit different. So I think contact in any way, shape, or form, you'll take it.
I mean, you put it in play, something's got to
happen. Yeah. You're forcing the defense to make a play, which is really all you can ask for. So Rylan Lesnow steps up, her second at bat of the game, and that is just a bullet, but it's low, and it rolls past the catcher. Lesnow, she flew out to left field, probably the deepest ball that any McAlester hitter has hit so far. But they've only been through the lineup once. Just her second at bat here. Cook, man, working very quickly from that center circle. Pitch is low again, 2-0.
Well, and I think you can tell, I mean, up until these last 2 pitches, she's really settled into this game.
You can kind of tell, especially if you just watch a pitcher work. I see it a little bit more in baseball. Just when they get settled in, they start to work a lot quicker. As soon as you get into that batter's box, they're in their motion. Here's the 2-0, an off-speed pitch. I don't think Dally Engel expected that to be an off-speed pitch. It looked like a miscommunication, but much to the advantage to McAlester and Rylan Lesnow, as it's 3-0. She's got a good opportunity to draw a walk or just become a base runner here.
And this is absolutely a take situation here.
Yes.
100%. I don't care if it's right down the middle.
That is one thing I will always remember, especially in high school. 3-0, you're taking all the way. And that is a strike.
And like I said, right down the middle, you are not touching that pitch.
And even if you're not talking high school, most people, unless you're David Ortiz, you're taking a 3-0.
Had to get that Red Sox reference.
I had to. A-Rod, we could say A-Rod as well. Here's the 3-1. Lesnow swings at an off-speed pitch and missed it. So it's 3-2 here with 2 outs. It is. I know that this is a Yankee-heavy studio over at McAlester Radio, so I got to bring a little bit diversity to it.
Okay, but you know what? That's fair. I'll take that.
But it's all in jest.
Absolutely.
We're making the playoffs anyways. The 3-2. Lesnow rips it, not super deep, but it goes right to left field, and it's over the head of the left fielder, and it's a ground rule double. So misplayed in the air, but it was not touched. So that means it will not be scored as an error. That is going to be a ground rule double for Rylan Lesnow. Huge hit that time by, I mentioned, just a sophomore. So Avery Alberson will step up.
Was that the first hit of the day?
It was the second one.
Second, okay.
It was the first extra base hit. Because Ambry House had that leadoff single back in the second. First pitch swinging. Here beats Avery Alberson. It drops right down behind the second baseman. I think a run is going to score, and it is. So we've got an RBI single from Avery Alberson.
And that's a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier. You put the ball in play, good things are going to happen.
Exactly. So McAlester, they're now on the board, 8-1 after back-to-back hits. We had a ground rule double from Rylan Lesnow, then Avery Alberson. First pitch seesaw. It's just kind of a humpback liner, kind of a blooper that dropped right in behind the first baseman and in front of the second baseman. That first pitch is in the dirt to Casey Woods.
You know, as soon as we said she looked like she settled in, she's given up 2 hits in her first run.
Maybe the McAlester hitters are setting in a little bit. I mentioned this is their second time through the lineup now. Maybe seeing a little bit better. Another pop-up on the infield, potentially a misplay, but no, it's grabbed by the shortstop for out number 3. But McAlester does get a run back, 2 hits, a ground rule double, and an RBI single. Avery Alberson and Rylan Lesnow, the beneficiaries there. It's 8-1. Panthers still lead it big as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. We'll be right back. You're listening to McAlester Softball on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, home decor, toys, hand tools, handbags, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 405 East Chickasaw Avenue, Suite B, McAlester. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 918-318-7986.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here, top half of the 4th inning. Stigler Panthers back up to bat, up 8-1. 2 pitches to Keely Adams so far, and it's a split, 1-1. Adams, she struck out her last time up, the only strikeout so far for the Buffaloes on the defensive side for Shiley Mason. Pitch is a called ball, so 2-1 now. Mason ended that last inning with a strikeout, and she's got 2 now in the center circle. Both have been watching. Here's the 2-1. It's upstairs and outside, so 3-1. So Mason, obviously, she's shown really good flashes today in the center circle, and then it's just been a couple of free passes that have really just come back to bite her a little bit. The 3-1, trying to crouch to make that a ball, but to no avail that time for Keely Adams. It's called a strike.
Yeah, I've learned to, if I hear ball, it's strike.
I think it's just the way he's saying it, possibly. Here's the payoff pitch. It's going to be fouled. Just looked like off of her foot, but either way, it's a foul ball. So we'll stay at 3-2. Wind really has not died down at all. It's still got a pretty steady blow. It looks like it's more, maybe not north is the way. I would probably say maybe towards the east is what it kind of looks. I'm directionally challenged, though, Nate. If I'm wrong, you can correct me here.
I mean, I'd say the flags are probably blowing like north-northeast.
There we go. Close enough. That pitch is upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4 on the 3-2. So Keely Adams gets things started. Her second time on base. Both times she's gotten on has been a walk, so she's technically 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but she's got 2 walks today. That'll bring up Cambry Cook, a pitcher-on-pitcher matchup once again. First pitch swinging. It's just a very soft pop fly hit right to the third baseman and Casey Woods, who makes the out for out number 1.
About as easy as an out you're going to get right there.
It does not get much easier in the game of softball or baseball there. Nice play to just make the routine plays. But, sometimes the routine plays are the toughest. So first pitch now. It's called strike to Peyton Mecom. Runner on first base. You've got the double play opportunity here. Anything hit up the middle hard enough. Again, you've got a lot shorter base paths in softball than what you do in baseball. Here's the 0-1, swung on and missed. It looked like an off-speed. Runner thought about going, but trots on back to first base. So 0-2, really good opportunity here for Mason to grab the second out of the inning. You've got some pitches to work with as well if you want to try and get her chasing at the plate. Mecom so far has flown out and been hit by a pitch, so she's also 0 for 1. The 0-2, she's going to make solid contact with it. It's going to be right to the center fielder. Coming in to make the play is Bailey Caldwell for out number 2. So 2 straight outs now after the leadoff walk. Nice bounce back from Shiley Mason. And that'll bring up Marley Bracken, who is also 0 for 1 today. She's got a ground out to third base, and she was hit by a pitch back in the first. And really, if you want to look at it, I know that Mason has had her struggles at times, but really it's just one inning. Other than that first, she's played really well today. That pitch is a first pitch swinging, and it's a base hit over the top of the shortstop out to left field. So that breaks up the back-to-back out sequence that we had as Marley Bracken grabs her first hit. And now Noli Blanchett will step up, who is 0 for 1 as well today. She walked and then she got on via the error back in the third. So now runners on first and second. Pitch is a little bit low. So 1-0 here. Stigler still leading McAlester 8-1 in the top half of the fourth. And the bulk of that damage, it came in the first inning. Since then, 2 innings since then, now in the third. No runs given up in the second, and none so far here. Very good pitch on the 1-0 is a called strike. So 1-1, 2 outs here. Trying to get out of this without any other runs given up. That pitch, it's going to be hit just right in the perfect spot behind the second baseman and in front of the right fielder, and a runner's going to come around and score. Throws not in time. And that single, it's not a double, but the runner does take it over to second base. So Keely Adams comes in to score. It's now 9-1. Marley Bracken moves over to third base, and Noli Blanchett takes first on the RBI single. So now Riley Williams steps in. This is the 9-hole batter. She's got 2 in scoring position. First pitch to her is inside. So 1-0. So just a little bit of a tough start today for the Buffaloes, but you've got a long season. You're going to play 20-plus games. And this is a team that I mentioned in the pregame won 25 games last year. That pitch is ripped down the third base line. One run is going to score. They're going to hold the other one. Thought about sending her, but they'll hold her. So now it's going to be double digits for the Panthers as Marlene Bracken comes around to score. Noli Blanchett is held up at third. She wanted to come around, but she was held. So 2-1 again. You're kind of just replacing the spot of the previous 2 runners. And we've got a coach's conversation coming out to Shiley Mason. I think that she might be done.
And yes,
she is.
We will have a pitching change. It appears.
So we've got a pitching change coming. We're going to go ahead and take a 60-second break. We'll see who they get in there, and we'll come back and we'll let you know how things are going over here. Stigler still leads the Buffs 10-1 here in the top half of the fourth. We'll be right back. You're listening to McAlester Softball on KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, home decor, toys, handles, handbags, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 405 East Chickasaw Avenue, Suite B, McAlester. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 918-318-7986.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here out of that coach's timeout. We did have a pitching swap, so Shiley Mason, her day is done. She does end the day with 2 strikeouts, and she is going to be her final stat line, not in total, but 3 2/3 of an inning, 2 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And I believe it's just 7 of the 10 runs were earned. Again, this is all unofficial scoring. I'll be able to total this up later. But 2 strikeouts on the day. It was just really that first inning what really set them back. She really settled in. It gave up a goose egg in the second. And then in the third inning, you had back-to-back errors, which allowed more runs to score for the Panthers. And that's really what culminated into that 3-run third inning. But really, if you take away the first inning, Mason really pitched a pretty good game. She kept McAlester in it as well. But now, as I mentioned, her day's done. And Kirsten Smith, she'll step in to take over. And she is going to get, I believe that's Jordan Johnson up at the plate. And it is. So she's going to get the leadoff batter here with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. First pitch, it's low, and it gets away from Ambry House, and just a little bit slow getting to it allows a run to score. So the pass ball allows Noli Blanchett to come around.
For Stigler, number 23, Jordan Johnson.
So it's now 11-1. Riley Williams takes third. So now you only have to worry about one base runner, but with 2 outs, the base runner really is just non-existent to you in the center circle.
Right, you're just focused on getting the next guy out.
The next one would be the third out. So here's the 1-0. That one was a ground ball grabbed by House. Nice block that time, prevented a run from scoring. 2-0 here. 2 outs in the top half of the 4th inning. I do believe we'll see, and things can change here in the bottom of the 4th. I'll finish this thought after the pitch. Here's the 2-0. That one's low and skipped in again to House, so it's now 3-0. And now I do believe, we don't know for sure, the run rule I believe is 8 after 5, and things can change here because McAlester will bat in the bottom of the 4th and the 5th at the very least.
Right.
But right now, trailing it by 10 runs, 11-1 here, in the top half of the 4th inning against Stigler. Here's the 3-0 now from Kirsten Smith. Called strike. Man, it does sound like he's saying ball.
It
Well,
does.
that's a strike, but that was right on the corner. So 3-1, nice job to paint that black. So Smith gets a strike back here, but it is a heavy header count at 3-1. That pitch is in the dirt, so that is another walk. That is the second of the inning.
And that's kind of what's been killing McAlester today, the free passes.
Yeah, because we talked about they really haven't been getting banged up too much on the hitting side. It's just been free passes. You've got the now 5 walks and I think 3 hit by pitches and the 2 errors. Those things will really count up against you.
Right. Especially against a team as talented as Stigler is.
First pitch is a little bit low to Dally Engel. Runner will take second base. And now we do also, I want to give Stigler their props because this is a really good Stigler team. They are 4A, but again, they won 25 games last year. They went 12-2 their final 14 games of the season. They lost to Poto twice in regionals to end their season. Pitch is going to be swung on and not hit too hard, but it's going to fall right in front of short and center field. It's going to allow 2 more runs to score. So that's an RBI single for Dally Engel. And that allows Riley Williams to come in from third, and Jordan Johnson will skip around halfway from where she was at from second to home plate to score. So now 13-1. It's the second 5 spot that the Panthers have put up in this game.
Looks like we're going to have another courtesy runner out there. Number 6, Maya Nixon.
So Maya Nixon, the courtesy runner now. First pitch. Called strike. Nice job by Smith on the location there on that pitch to Lovett. I will say if Lovett gets on base here and Keely Adams comes up, that would be completely batting through the lineup. That would be the second time that the Panthers would have done that, obviously, hypothetically speaking. Here's the 0-1. A little bit up. So with Smith, it looks like she's got some pretty good speed on that fastball. It's just the difference, I think, between her and Mason. Mason maybe didn't have the same amount of speed, but a little bit better control. And again, Smith just stepped in here and is kind of getting settled in. That pitch is fouled backwards. So it's 1-2. She's just been a little bit more, I guess, erratic in the zone, but that fastball has some steam on it. And we've seen it so far culminate to 2 strikes in this at bat. Hopefully they can make it 3 here and be the third out of the inning. So 1-2 with a runner on first base. Smith, the delivery. It's hit right towards the right fielder, coming up to make the play, and she does. Coral Cooley makes the out for out number 3. Looks like not everybody knew that was out number 3. Confused me for a second, but it is, as we'll head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Panthers add on 5 more, and it's 13-1. We'll be right back. You're listening to McAlester Softball on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from St. Walter's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at St. Walter's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here on the south side of McAlester. Chase McNutt, Nate Brown joining you. Bottom half of the fourth, McAlester trailing it 13-1 to the Stigler Panthers for what is game 1 of the high school softball season. And Cambry Cook, the pitcher for Stigler, her day is done. 3 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Let me go ahead and see if I can tally up her strikeouts very quickly. So 3 innings pitched. She had 5 strikeouts. Not a bad day at the office because what is that? I think of the 9 outs she got, 5 of them were strikeouts. So really dominant for her in that center circle now. But on the other side of that, McAlester might have an opportunity to get some runs back here. And it starts with Ambry House, who's 1 for 1 with a single. Just her second at bat of the game. So Addie Wallace stepping in, her first pitch outside.
And it looks like Cook is going to stay in the game over there at first base.
Yes, so she's over at first, which will remove Marley Bracken, who was at first. Another pitch that's outside, but some good speed on it. It doesn't look like too much of a drop-off just speed-wise from Cook. Cook had some pretty good locations as well. Here's the 2-0. House watches another one, so 3 pitches to her and 3 balls.
And if nothing else, you're getting the rest of these hitters a look at this new pitcher.
That's what you want as a leadoff batter for the inning. You want to see as many pitches as you can. Here's the 3-0. It's a 4-pitch walk. So waiting to see the call there because that did look outside, but it is called ball 4. So Ambry House is now 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. And that'll bring up Kelsey Powell, the 5-hole. She struck out her last time up.
Looks like we're going to have another courtesy runner here from McAlester. Again, that's number 15.
That is going to be Paisley Mullins once again. Looks like she's going to be tasked with the pinch running today, or courtesy runner, as you put it. As again, it's just that's for the catcher. We've seen it for the pitcher as well. Cambry Cook had that a little bit earlier when she got a hit. First pitch swinging, and it's going to be a fly out to second, and I think it's going to be doubled up. It is. Paisley Mullins got a little bit too far, and that's something we had talked about, Nate, a possibility for a double play. Obviously, you don't want to be on the other side of that. Paisley Mullins just got a little bit too far off the bag, and that pitch was not hit super hard, but it was hit right at the second baseman. And Kelsey Powell with the line out and then a throw it at first base is a double play. So now.
And especially on a looper like that, you want to stay closer to the bag.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit low for ball 1. Counts 1-0.
Appreciate that, Nate.
No problem. Saw you were writing over there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, those lineouts, stuff like that, it's just really, you don't ever really expect it. Second pitch swinging, it's a ground ball slowly up the third base line, and it's thrown over for out number 3. So what started off with a leadoff walk very quickly turned after the double play, and then now the ground out to end things, the 5-3 ground out. McAlester still trails at 13-1. We're going to head to the top half of the 5th inning. We'll be right back. You're listening to McAlester High School Softball right here on 1150 AM, 98.3 FM, KNED. We'll be right back.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, home decor, toys, handles, handbags, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 405 East Chickasaw Avenue, Suite B, McAlester. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call 918-318-7986.
Welcome back to Mike Deak, and ladies and gentlemen, I think that we have a ball game. We thought that maybe the run rule was 8 after 5, but they're doing it after 4, and I think maybe it's because it was 10 instead of 8 after 4. So the final score, McAlester is going to lose 13-1 to fall to 0-1 to start the season. And now this was a game that was supposed to be played in Stigler because of the weather, but then they got a bunch of weather just as we did this morning. But with the turf field, it's a lot easier to work around, so it was shifted back over here. And so that's kind of how things worked out today as the Buffs, they fall to 0-1. 13-1 is the score to Stigler. And it was just really, that first inning was too much for them to come back from. Not everybody even got to bat through twice for McAlester on the offensive side. And again, it's day one. We talked about it. It's a very young team. Not a lot of seniors on this team. It's a lot of younger players that are going to get a lot of things to learn from.
Right. I think Coach Jernigan said 8 out of the 9 starters were underclassmen.
Yeah, and that's not something that you see a lot of. And it's hard to, I guess, get things rolling with a younger squad like that, especially early in the season. Now, certainly things can and probably will change as it goes along. I don't think you'll see a lot of 13-1 games as we roll along. Again, Stigler, a really good opponent, a team that won 25 games last year, and it looks like they're going to try to not skip a beat this year, starting off 1-0. And Nate, I think we're going to be right back over here tomorrow as well as the game that was supposed to be played. Correct me, I believe it was next Tuesday or next Thursday.
I want to say it was next Tuesday. It got moved to McAlester tomorrow.
Yes.
It was supposed to be in Collinsville next week, but they're moving it to Mike Deak tomorrow, so we will be here for that broadcast as well. Hopefully it'll go a little bit smoother, but I think it went pretty well.
I think it did too. I hope you guys enjoyed the new cameras that we've had set up out in the outfield wall, and obviously our one that we'll always have up here in the booth. But Nate, it was a good game one. We got some stuff out from underneath us, and I feel like it's going to be a really good season.
I think so too.
So now, unfortunately, as I mentioned, McAlester, they fall to 0-1 on the season with that 13-1 loss. Let's go ahead, and I think if we were going to do maybe a player of the game on the McAlester side, it's hard to not want to give it to Rylan Lesnow for the ground rule double, but Ambry House, she went 1-for-1 with a single and a walk. So I think if I were to do a player of the game, I would probably give it to her. She got on base twice, and she was really the big bright spot today. But obviously would like to point out Lesnow. She was the reason for the run scored, had the ground rule double, and then Avery Alberson had the RBI single right behind her to help McAlester get their only run of the game. So 13-1 is how things will end here. Game time was just over an hour and 10 minutes long, but we'll be right back here tomorrow, I believe, exact same time.
I believe it is. We'll have it posted on Twitter at Buff Sports Radio, on the McAlester Radio Facebook page, all over our socials, and like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow.
Looking forward to it, Nate. Once again, did want to say McAlester softball all season long is going to be brought to you by Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, McAlester Clothing Consignment, and Consignment Exchange. Mentioned Consignment Exchange. I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. My connection is my great-grandfather and grandmother started that business over 50 years ago. Now my Nana, Papa, and Aunt Cleora, they've continued it with the idea to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture. Now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, well, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9, I came up with the tag out of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is. For Chase McNutt and Nathan Brown, want to say thank you for joining us on this Monday. We'll be right back here with you tomorrow at 5 as the Buffaloes will try and get a win against Collinsville right here on KNED. Have a good rest of your Monday evening. We'll